Today's video will show the overhaul of the coin mechanism for a Laurel single column mechanical machine. This coin mechanism is our most common on the market. It's the one that's adjustable in price up to $1. And what we'll do today is I'll show you how to remove all the parts, and we'll lubricate a few key spots, and then the rebuild will follow. So here, first we start. We're going to remove the coin platform. With that, the clamp at the end, you grab the ears, squeeze to remove, pull the shaft off, spacer. This is the spring, we would be replacing that. This is the coin platform, that we will be keeping that. Next, flip the mechanism over, and we will remove the coin return rod, or some people call it the push button. This is an older one. It's kind of tarnished. We're going to replace that with a new one. Next, at the bottom, we will remove the pull rod with the 2 screws. Pull handle is also another term that most people would use. We happen to call it a pull rod. The spring, we'll take it off of the round stud. Yank it off. What we would be doing, we would be replacing the pull handle with one with a new knob so it looks nicer on the outside of your machine. Remove the lock lever. The lock lever is one of the key components should you have someone getting a free product by pulling on the handle or twisting it. This is the culprit. The bushing and the lever work by gravity. You can see the grease, dried grease in there and on the bushing. That's your culprit. We'll be replacing that with a new one. Next, remove the ratchet. Over on the other side again. The final screw for the ratchet. That is what we call the ratchet. We'll be replacing that with new. It's inexpensive, and it's a key component that fails over many, many years. This coin mechanism, we estimate, is at least 20 years old, possibly as much as 25 years old. The spring for the ratchet will also be replaced. This is a great time. This is the key channel that the ratchet goes back and forth when you pull the handle. So it's always just a great time. Just a quick wipe of that. Maybe, sometimes you get a little burrs built up. Just a quick file, then it'll make it work a lot smoother. We'll do it on the other side too. Wipe off that old dried grease. That's all it needs. That'll make a nice smooth channel so the handle pulls back and forth nice and easily. Okay, and then we'll follow up with the rebuild. Okay, now we're going to reinstall all of the new parts. What we've done on this mechanism is show you the key replacement parts that we commonly put into any mechanism that's returned to us for repair. First, it's the coin return rod. They're inexpensive and it looks nice and new on the outside. You slip it in, and retaining ring, an E-ring, holds it in on the groove. You just pop it into the groove of that. Takes a little bit of force. You can sometimes use a little bit of a... Okay. Next, we're going to put a new ratchet in. This is a key time. We use a synthetic grease. Lithium is fine. Just put a little bit in this channel. You don't have to do a lot. Make it slide real nice and smooth. Okay, the bushing. Lay the bushing in first. This hole of the ratchet is what's going to line up with that. We're going to lay that down there. Now, to put the screw in from the other side, the key thing is to hold it in position, turn the mechanism over, and put the screw in. So, put a little force on it, turn it over. Right here, we're going to put the screw with the thick spacer. You can just put it in loosely. We will tighten it later. Flip it back over. This is a good time now for the ratchet spring to loop it into the top hole of the ratchet and just leave it resting, waiting to be reattached. Then we line the ratchet up like that. Then the pull handle is going to be installed next. The spacer, we use this small round spacer, fits on the first hole here. The lock lever, the new lock lever, which you can see doesn't have a bunch of dirt built up there, grease, and the bushing. The bushing falls into the lock lever. The top hole of the lock lever, slide onto this shaft, lay it on top of the ratchet where the back hole is. So you have the two holes for the pull handle to be mounted on. So try to keep that still and not bang it when you install the pull rod. Okay, just lay it on top. Again, just loosely install the front screw. And the back screw goes inside of a small metal actuating pin, we call it. You'll see the screw falls inside of that actuating pin. That is the connecting link to the drop shelf assembly. So we lay that in. Now this is the time to tighten all three screws. First here, and then to remember to flip over and tighten the third screw. Connect the ratchet spring onto the round stud. There's a groove in this stud that the loop of the spring will go inside of. You just use your fingernail and snap that in. Key time to show, when quarters are in the machine, what happens is the last quarter will lift this lock lever up, and that's how you get your product. No money, lock lever drops, operates by gravity. That's why it needs to be clean in there. Final, we put a nut to lock this down. The key fastener in this mechanism is this one here. So we put a nylock nut on it, and the best way to tighten this is to do this. Holding this in position, screwdriver on the other side, and just tighten it down. That'll keep it nice and secure for a long time. You can see it operates really nicely. Last item. If you send it in to us, typically you can read. You can see this is the dollar mechanism. The screw is in the $1 hole. That's the price setting. Should you want to change to 50 cents or 75, you simply remove the screw and place it in the hole. Okay. Last, the coin platform reinstall. This is a little bit tricky. So we have a little bit of a system to do this. Shaft first goes in the hole, plastic spacer, first leg of the coin platform. Put it in so far. This is the coin platform spring, straight leg, bent leg, straight leg first. The top of the straight leg is going to rest on the coin acceptor. Key. So this is the way to do it. This is now a little tricky, is that we need to rotate this 1/2 of a revolution to get the spring tension on the platform. So the way we do it, you hold everything still. And I'm pushing the shaft to go through the other ear of the coin platform, the other hole in the ear. You see it's through now. That's the way it should operate. Final is to put the clamp back on the shaft so it doesn't slide out in operation. Squeeze the ears. There. That's it. Okay, now's the time to put some quarters in and test it out, see how it works. First though, final note is we like to clean the quarter path. Over the years, the quarters will leave some dirt in here, everything that came out of people's pockets. Really important. The underside of the magnet, really wipe that. That's a key area that attracts dirt and can cause quarters to jam in the coin acceptor, which is what we do not want. This coin mechanism is set at $1, so we'll put in 3 quarters, go to pull the handle, no luck. 4th quarter, bingo. Okay, from the other side, I'll show you where that 4th quarter ends up. There's 3 in. Now, if we can focus here on the 4th quarter, is going to come down and rest right there. The lock lever is going to skim up and over in the quarter and let us vend. That's how this coin mechanism operates.